I was reading earlier that you dealt with depression and loneliness. How did you break free from that?
When I was an actor and photographer, I had everything on the outside that was working for me. I was the life of the party, right? I had so many friends, my movies, I was acting the lead
Wow.
character in movies, posters with my face, like, it was larger than life, were on the walls. I was getting so much praise when the movie released. At the same time, while all this was happening, inside, I felt
Yep.
completely different. It was as if I was
And
leading two
yep.
lives, right?
Yep.
I would stand in front of my closet and I would feel so lost. This entire wardrobe of things that I'm supposed to wear and
Right.
look like a certain person because people have an expectation, at least in my mind, people expected me to dress well, look good, and all this. I had so many kind of, this is not me.
Mm.
Why am I like pretending in a certain way? Even though I knew it was acting, right? But at the
Right.
same time, I just felt completely lost. It deepened that thing. Every time I had to go out of my house, I felt like, oh my God, I can't be myself. So I just felt more and more isolated. Nobody really got me. Friends knew me as an actor, as a fun person to hang out with.
Sure.
Nobody knew my
Exactly. Yeah.
spiritual side, and I
Yeah. The
couldn't
real.
have
Yep.
anybody to talk to about it. I became disconnected and isolated. That's what led
Yep.
to depression. That's what led to utter hopelessness and meaninglessness at one point. I didn't have any
Wow.
reason to live. And
Wow.
I wouldn't get out of my bed, not just my bedroom, but my bed for 4 days at a
Wow.
time. I didn't eat, didn't even drink water because I was like,
Oh my
why
gosh.
do I even care for anything?
Wow.
So,
I,
yeah, but
wow.
that was the dark night of my soul, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
depth of that depression, things started
Okay.
revealing to me, and I started surrendering more and more and more
Mm-hmm.
to life,
Yep.
to God, and thankfully I'm
Yeah.
still here.
You are. And I know what you're talking about. The dark night of the soul. For the audience that doesn't know exactly what that means and
Yeah.
surrendering, and maybe explain that a little bit.
My entire life, what I knew to be true,
Right.
it seemed like it was shaken up and turned upside down, and all the pieces were falling apart. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt completely lost because I thought life was a certain way.
Yep.
I saw that life is completely so much more, and it was too
Mm-hmm.
much light. So,
Mm-hmm.
the dark night of the soul is actually when the ego,
Yep.
which is our story of who we are, our identity that we are attached to,
Yes. Yes.
becomes afraid that it's going to lose its power, its status
Yep.
quo, what it
Right.
knows to be
Right.
true, and tries everything it can
And it does.
to just keep a hold of it. It's the
Mm-hmm.
self sabotage. This self sabotage is where you put yourself into a little cocoon and say, no, too much light. I'm going to hide
Exactly.
in my cave. Right?
Oh, awesome way to. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
and it's so true. It's so like that too. Yes.
Yes. Because of this, somehow you feel completely stuck,
Oh
and,
yes.
and you feel like there's no help, there's no meaning. And because I went through this so many times, I started recognizing a pattern. And then when I started helping others, I saw the same patterns
Mm-hmm. Okay.
repeating, recurring in different ways. It's the same pattern. The stories are different. They say, I did this, I did that, but it's the
Exactly.
same
Yeah.
self sabotage, the same isolation, same lack
Yep.
of clarity. That's where people are stuck. These are the pitfalls of spiritual awakening that most people
Yeah.
spend years in. I spent years in that, and I
Mm-hmm.
became very familiar with that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's a good way to put it too. You do.
This kind of transformed me in that cocoon. I developed into the butterfly, as they
The
say.
beautiful butterfly. Yes. Yes. That's a great way to put it too.